Evening, ladies and gentlemen and ladies. Good evening. I am Styrofoam Ralph. This is Cups and the Gang live from the motherfucking hot box. This is the motherfucking Monday smoke meeting. Yes, it is the
Yeah.
Monday smoke meeting. You know I got the guys with me. My dog Bleed Blue, Foot of Shoe, Nap Nation. What it do? The Jug King, Jay Lethal in the building, and my dog, one half of Sports Reports, as ordered. 2-5, Mike Will, 2-5 squared in the building. What is going on, fellas?
Hey
You already
man,
know.
was waiting for this national title game to tip off. You know what I'm
Shout
saying?
out to
Monday
Coach
Night
Sam.
Raw just kicked off.
Shout out to Coach Sam. Shout out to Cooper Flag. Shout out to Cooper Flag for it's unfortunate that my dog Residente isn't here right now because
Shout out
when
to Cooper Flag for making my day.
me and him were in Tulsa, Oklahoma in November, and we watched Duke, Kentucky, and we were at the bar and we watched Cooper Flag dribble the ball up the court and just fumbled a rock. He just dropped it out of bounds. He just dropped the ball. He fumbled the dribble. And I'm just like, wow, player of his stature, that's kind of crazy. Then he did it again in the Clemson game. Then he does it again in the Houston game. And only this time he gets the shot off. But it's just not enough.
He didn't put
Not
it
enough
up. He ain't
elbow.
put the he ain't fillet it, bro. You know what I'm saying? He was just a
Yeah.
But see,
little
So
here it is
short
though.
arm that bit.
But here it is though. Think about what you're saying. A player of his caliber.
You think he froze in a
player-
big moment? Think the Bryce was too light for him, bro?
I mean, yes, but not for the reason that you're thinking.
he's a
Like
freshman.
you're just looking at it as a star player choked or whatever the case may be. I'm looking at it like he just turned 18 in December.
Yeah, he's just a freshman.
You know what I'm
He still
saying?
got
Like,
time to grow. He still
yeah,
got
like we were talking about this backstage a little bit, right? Like we were talking about how the best team doesn't always win, you know. So like John Wall and that super team with Eric Bledsoe, Boogie, they didn't win. They lost in the Final Four just like this Duke team. You know, Zion and them didn't even make it to the Final Four. They lost in the Elite Eight. You know, who else? There's one more team that I had in my mind, but you know, and we were talking about Derrick Rose in Memphis as well. So you know, a lot of times, like we forget because they're so great at what they do, we forget that these are just kids. Like
Yeah.
Cooper Flag shouldn't have been in that position. You know, Duke had that game won with about 8 minutes left, and then they got outscored 25-8.
So who was
Yeah, it
more
was
at
like a
fault? The
17-2
coaches?
run in the last like 3 minutes.
I mean,
So who
realistically, I don't want to blame it on one player, right? I don't want to blame it on one player. You know what I'm saying? But
But
and I know Mike about to get mad at me. I'm sorry, Mike. But I'm looking at Tyrese Proctor. You know what I'm saying? Because he's the one that dribbled it off his leg out of bounds. You know, he's the one that missed the front end of that one-on-one when they called that bullshit foul on Cooper Flag. You know, he makes his free throw. We're not even having this conversation.
At what point does
Proctor.
coaching matter? At what point
Oh,
do you
coaching
put
definitely matters. Coaching definitely matters 100%. And John Shire, I think, is a decent coach, but I don't know if he's been around long enough for us to know how good of a coach he is. You know what I mean? Like, and on top of that, he did a lot of questionable things at the end of this game, like having Tyrese Proctor in the game right there. He's
that's
the
what I was
worst free
saying.
throw
Like
shooter on the team.
if you put the blame on him, if you put the blame on that loss, are you putting more blame on the coach or you putting more blame on the players itself?
No, I put it on the coach because the coach is supposed to put the players in position. You know, now,
and
now
he's a children.
obviously sometimes players just don't execute, but it's my job to put you in position. You know what I mean? And just like Cooper Flag, right? We talk about this with LeBron all the time. Why he settled for the jumper?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Go to the basket.
But that's one of the joints we talk about when we bring up like I'm glad he try to shoot a mini, then try to step back, try to shoot a three. You know what I'm saying? Go for a 3-point. Like the percentage of hitting the mid range is more greater than the three. He
But it
just
was
so happened to miss the mid range.
But it was a bad shot as far as
Yeah, I didn't like the shot. Period.
I didn't like the shot, and when you look at the defender and how the defender was up in him, he didn't even have to shoot it when he shot it.
Yo.
He didn't even have to shoot it when he shot it. He still had time for another dribble or something if he needed to. You know what I mean? But I think, he's 18 and he just rushed the moment. And Mike said it in the comments. Every game Duke lost this year came down to Cooper Flag. Against Kentucky and Clemson, it was him losing the ball, out of bounds or whatever, like turnovers. You know what I mean? And that's why, like, it's funny because I've been listening to these Duke fans for the last couple of days talking about how the call on Cooper Flag was bad. And it absolutely was.
The over and back.
Yeah, it absolutely was. But that's also to take away all the shit that Duke got in that game. You know what I mean? Like, there were at least 3, out of bounds on Duke that Duke got the ball for, including a kickball where he kicked the ball and it went through the guard's legs and went out of bounds. And Duke got the ball somehow. You know what I mean? So, like, there's things like look, you had a 14-point lead with 9 minutes left in that game. You had a 6-point lead with 2 minutes left in that game. And Knipple was hitting shots. The problem is you got Malawak out here doing his Roy Hibbert impersonation. He's like 7'11" with no rebounds. So that doesn't help either. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna blame Shire because, like, if it's a player, I'm gonna blame Proctor. You know what I mean? But it's got to come down to Shire because these are young kids. Duke tried to take over what Kentucky was doing. Calipari was out here with the one and dones. Coach K was like, "Oh shit, I got to do that." And now, look at next year. They got the Boozer twins coming. You know what I'm saying? So Duke ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? As far as being on the national stage and all that kind of stuff, they aren't going anywhere. But John Shire got to eat this one, and he just got to take the blame for this one.
My dog still Kurt representing live in the building. What's going on?
Building.
Fuck Durham Tech. Somebody say fuck Durham Tech yet?
No, we ain't say that yet.
Only you.
No, not yet.
No, so you know what? It was funny, right? Because I hate Duke and Carolina, right? And so when they play each other, I usually just cheer for whoever has the worst record. You know what I mean? So the last couple of years, I thought I was getting soft on Duke. Pause. Because I like the Zion team. I like the few players they had on that team, and I like the players on this team. But when Houston hit those free throws the other night, you'd have thought Kentucky won the national title. I was running around here screaming like a damn fool.
Stupid.
Go ahead.
They was looking at his bracket. I was looking at his bracket.
No, I had Duke in the bracket. I had Auburn over Duke in my title game. You know what I mean? But but when I looked at it Friday night, because I didn't have Houston in the Final Four, so when I looked at it Friday night, I was like, "Yo, Houston got everything Duke don't want."
Welcome to the party, Rez.
What up, Rez? Get in here. You know what I mean? I was like, when I looked at it, because Houston played Duke last year, and even though it's a different team, you know what I'm saying, it's still John Shire, same philosophy. You're still not as talented as them. And it was a 3-point game in the Sweet 16 that they held Duke to 54 points. So I was just looking at it like Houston knows that they can play with this team, if nothing else.
Just go ahead and say you still mad at Luke May. I understand. It's okay.
No, it goes way before Luke May. Way before Luke May.
You'll be all right. When you come to South Carolina and I treat you to that dinner, I'll wear my Luke May jersey just for you. Just for you.
No, it's way before Luke May. This goes back to like.
When your homie comes, we'll make sure we give him a dozen of Krispy Kreme donuts.
No, this is before. This is before Dante Calabria. You know what I'm saying? This is Derek Phelps.
So
you're taking it you're a little too personal now. Remember, they won a champion. They won a championship in that era too. Shout out to Coach Dean Smith, a legend. Greatest coach ever. Motivator. Silver actor. Teacher.
So Tar Heels record as far as titles between the two teams is safe for another year. Will Cooper Flag be entering the NBA draft this offseason?
He will, and the league will either fuck Charlotte or give Charlotte a marketable player. And if they fuck Charlotte, he's going to Philly. I said it.
So it'll be a bad idea for Cooper to come back and play one more year and try to go win Eddie.
No, if the NIL money is more than his rookie base salary, but
It
if
ain't.
the NIL money isn't,
It ain't.
well then, pick your losing squad. You're either gonna be on a losing Charlotte team or a losing Philly team
You know what I'm
because
saying?
Utah isn't marketable.
Hey, he might have to get up in these pink pajamas. You know, but no,
hey, didn't y'all get? What did y'all do with the Frenchman this year? Nothing.
no, he came on at the end of the year. Like
At the end of the year, sir.
that's what rookies do.
Typical pajamas fashion.
That's what rookies do.
Typical pink pajamas fashion. Your best player is out here lighting it up in polo socks. Come on, man.
Nah, but
Come on, man.
but the number one pick generally gets about 4 years, 56 million. So somewhere like Ricochet, that's what he got. So he got 10 million this year, and then he'd get 14 million over the rest of the contract or whatever it is. But
Okay, but the NIL, he could set a record for the NIL money with that dark money Duke got.
yeah,
And I don't mean
they might
dark in
only get,
color.
but he might only get half that because they got to pay Boozer's boys.
But what's smarter?
They're not on his level. Let's be clear.
I don't know.
They're
That
just
woman-
they're accessories. They're accessories to an already running machine. It's just like a new set of tires for a Maserati. That's all that is. If he stays, let's be clear. Duke is not gonna. You're not. Yeah, they're his kids, but you're not gonna come in there and overhype or overshadow that kid that y'all have already been hyping since high school. Remember,
That take pressure off him, dude. It takes some pressure off him.
He had a squad to take pressure off him this year.
It's a different type of
Duke
different type of
has
talent.
no excuse. Duke has no excuse.
Van
to
Carroll,
not-
They
Van
do. You're
Carroll,
right. They don't. You're right.
Van
They
Carroll
don't.
had a squad. Van Carroll had a squad. Let's come on now. Stop with the excuses. How is it y'all can? There's no excuse for Carolina losing, but there's 8 million and one every time Duke takes a L. Fuck out of here.
about
No, we ain't doing that.
You don't care about North Carolina. You don't care about them.
We ain't doing that. Not on my watch. They fucked up. They choked. They lost. Period. They had a stacked squad, a bunch of 5 stars, and they still took a L. And need I remind you, an 8 seed put a 2 seed out 3 years ago.
So is that
In
okay?
their
So all the
final
other
game
teams,
of
like
their
the John
career.
Wall teams and the D Road team, they choked. Is it safe to say they choked it? They choked their chances away.
I don't think so, because that John Wall squad, although it was stacked, it was basically a John Wall squad.
No, we definitely choked. 3 for 34 from 3. Why you shooting 34 threes in the first place? With that
Because
team?
that's what got you. Because that's what got you there in the first
That
place.
ain't what
shooting
got us there.
threes.
What got us there was John Wall outrunning everybody and Boogie knocking people on their ass.
Boogie
We
can't
lost
knock
to
everybody.
Joe Mazzulla.
Who did what?
Talking to you, Jimmy.
We lost to Joe Mazzulla.
Shooting threes and playing defense. So hey,
At least then we lost in the zoo.
but see, this is what I don't understand here. How is it you can run off a laundry list of what did or didn't happen when it's your squad, but when it's Duke, there's 8 million and one excuses for why they lost.
No, that's what I just said. Duke has no excuses for not winning the title. That's what I said.
No, but somebody else said, well, if this had happened, No, guy,
saying, bro.
they had a
No, I
stacked
thought
squad.
the game was over when
They
they
had-
tried to inbound and JoJo got that. I thought it was over then.
Okay, and then the smart move was, instead of trying to jack that 3, settling for the 2 and relying on your defense that somebody said was gonna lock them down when it counted the most. I ain't naming no names.
Plus, Houston did go 10 for 22 from 3 too. That, you know what I mean?
But that
helped.
that defense came up when it needed to come up the most.
It did. Hopefully, it does the same thing tonight.
Well,
Speaking of choke jobs,
you want the SEC to win. I mean,
No,
you
I
should be a
don't.
team player.
I don't want the Gators to exist, let alone win.
Come on,
So
man.
much hate on the Gators.
Billy Donovan's gonna be in the crowd. Come on, man. Al and boys gonna be in the crowd. Don't do that.
Yeah, and I hope he disappointed just like K was.
Wow.
well, speaking of choke jobs, Tufai, can you elaborate on the question I asked the other night? I was like, who do you think had the bigger letdown, the Zion team or this Cooper Flag team?
So I think it's this team because, you know, the Zion team, they had flaws. Like, you know, Residente all the time talks about how Cam Reddish is the shooter that can't shoot. You know, RJ Barrett, you know, it always felt like he was trying to outshine Zion. Like he was trying to hog the ball and get the shots. This Duke team was just put together from top to bottom, whether it's defense, whether it's shooting, whether it's, you know, like the
You
only
treat
thing
it like baseball. You treat it like baseball. When you look at this roster on paper, it's just like with this
Yeah,
squad,
like-
it was like, bro,
but see,
defense,
but
defense squad.
but the one flaw
Over
that
$20
they did-
million. Over $20 million in NIL money just went up in smoke. They
But
couldn't do what Ohio State did with a squad.
the one flaw that Duke did have bit them in the ass though, because they wanted Cooper to be the de facto everything. So you didn't have that point guard to get, like they didn't have that Jeremy Roach. You know, like even though Jeremy Roach ain't a great player or anything like that, but
You
he
just
knew
need
his
somebody
role
to
within the
offset
offense.
that.
You know, yeah. Like Proctor and Foster, and no fault to them because they're great shooters, but they want to shoot. They ain't trying to initiate nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was just Cooper, go set this up. You know what I'm saying? So that's what bit him in the ass, because if Cooper couldn't make it happen, a lot of the other players couldn't. I don't like they would make the extra pass, but Shire didn't have plays where it was like make this happen and you lead the way outside of Cooper Flag.
For sure.
So I think this team is the bigger disappointment.
And I mean Zion.
Does it matter who they lost to? Does it matter who they lost to?
I think the 2022 team is the biggest disappointment, but I mean, it's my personal opinion.
I mean, I guess it depends on part of it depends on if you think that Flag is better than Zion, or you know what I mean, if you think Knipple is better than RJ Barrett. But I just think collectively this was a better team with more talent spread throughout the round.
So do you think that well, first of all, I want to address shout out to the Florida Gators. Shout out to my dog Walter Clayton. Dog, how did he become like after and I get it, you know what I'm saying, big time ball. After two 30-point games, they're talking about him now potentially being a top 3 pick.
You know what's crazy is the year that, ready for this one, Mike? The year that Walter Clayton went into the portal. You know, they come out with the portal rankings and all that stuff like that. Bro, he was the number 69th ranked player in his portal class.
Out of how many?
You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Like 1,000. I mean, it was like, yeah. So this is the problem. Everything is so hyperbolic. Like, yes, he's had a great NCAA tournament. Yes, he's hit some clutch big shots, you know, that you can only dream of. But whatever reason you had him not in the top whatever before, those things still exist. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was his height, whether it was, you know, you felt he had a lack of athleticism, or, you know, whatever flaw you thought he had, he still has. He's just
Agreed.
playing out of his mind right now.
I mean, but doesn't play off.
He's not the first in the tournament to play his way into a lottery pick.
Like the last drafts I've seen still have him like around 26 or so.
So you feel like he going for Cup? You feel like he going into the draft as an overhyped player rather than
No.
No,
He
like
deserves
that.
the hype. He deserves the hype, but they're
He's
just
definitely tough.
they're just overreacting right now, you know, because I'm gonna give Mike credit for this because Mike was the one that put it in my universe, if you will. Like that's basically Jamal Murray we watching. You know what I mean? So like, you know, and looking at this draft and the players that
are coming in these joints.
like we feel might be in the top 10 or top 15, I guess. Where do you rank Jamal Murray amongst those players? And that's tell you where Walter Clayton should go.
Where would you put him?
If it were me, I would say anywhere from 8 to about 20.
In his position?
What's that?
In his position?
No,
At his
I'm just saying, like,
or just overall?
just as a prospect in general, yeah, like
Okay,
just
let's
as a
have that.
prospect in general, because that's the thing. I don't know what his position is going to be, like, you know, because he's not really a point guard. He's more of those, you know, combo guards. So I don't know if he's going to have to play point in the NBA, and you know, I don't know if he can play point guard full time right now because he's listed at 6'3". You know what I mean?
I'd
So
have him at shooting guard.
yeah, you could, but that's a small team. You know what I mean? And your backcourt is going to get picked on defense. So
Could you see him going to Denver as Murray's replacement?
I definitely could because somebody got to go in Denver. I would, you know, what I'm saying I would say it's Michael Porter Jr., but somebody got to go.
I'm hearing they just need to get young, but keep the core.
Keep Brody on the squad, they be all right.
No. That experiment is over.
He need to be the first nigga that need to go.
Bro,
That
I'm
experiment is
Why-
over. Like,
You feel, why is it y'all feel like Brody should be done, bro? Y'all think Brody should
I feel like the clock struck midnight on that pumpkin.
damn.
Yeah, bro. It might
That's
be
tough,
over.
bro.
It might be.
And I
over,
love
yeah.
Russ. I love Russ.
I
You know
love,
what I'm
bro.
saying? Like,
Niggas already know how I feel about Russell.
just
Westbrook.
keeping it honest, man. Like, no, like all the things that the Laker fans were talking about, you know what I'm
That shit
saying?
true. Y'all feel like
They were
that
exaggerating
really-
a little bit. A little bit. But that shit is happening for real in full K right now.
Yeah, I just
But
feel
I-
like everybody because
I-
that one game so far. Ever since that one game,
No, it ain't that one game. It ain't that
Yes,
one. Go look at
that's
it.
why people
They're
be-
3-7 in their last 10 games.
Relax, bro.
As
Relax.
a Laker fan, I like Westbrook. But then that's just my personal opinion. I had no problem with Westbrook. I thought that he was just a scapegoat for the blatantly obvious lack of defense that they still have a problem with. Lack of defense at times. You're not going to shoot your way into every W, but you can shoot your way into every L.
Right.
Now, they did something Sunday, but like I said earlier today, watch them go 5 for 35 tomorrow against the same squad. And SGA will be on the line at least 10 times before the first half goes.
I got a question for the entire box. What do you think has the higher probability? Shea winning MVP or Shea's team winning the finals?
Shea winning
Both.
MVP.
Yeah, I'm about to say Shea winning MVP.
Both. It's 50-50, both.
Well, I think the MVP is his. I think it's locked up now after this Denver slide. You know, you can't go 3-7 in your last 10. And now, granted, you know, to be fair, you know, Jamal Murray's been out. You know what I'm saying? So you do have to take that into account. But you know what I mean? Like, Oklahoma City also got smoked their last 2 games.
But Jokic, the way Jokic is playing and how valuable he is for his team right now versus how Shea and OKC is running, that's where that MVP
But how valuable
talk
are you if you ain't winning? Like Denver's literally an inch away from the 6th seed right now.
Everybody goes through everybody has their rough patch, bro. But it's all about when they get in the playoffs, bro.
Yeah, have your rough
You know what
patch
I'm
in
saying?
February, not April.
I feel it. But the playoffs is where you know what I'm saying, it really matters. And I think Denver is just in that little slump that they're gonna go through. They're gonna go into the playoffs ready to smoke niggas.
I think it depends on who they match up with.
Man, I just, bruh,
I think Wardell is running them off the court if that's who they match up with.
I can see a couple
Not if
different teams.
not if
knocking
they
off
play
OKC.
not if they play defense on them like Houston did.
They can't. Denver don't do that.
I can see a couple teams knocking off OKC.
But all right, Cups, hold up real quick. You ready for my stat real quick?
Yes, sir. Hit me with it.
All right, so Jokic went 41, 15, and 13 last night.
Come on,
They lost.
bro.
They lost. Do you know who they lost to?
It wasn't the Rockets. It was
It was not the Rockets. So there are 4 teams since 2025 has started that have won 70% of their games. They are Oklahoma City, the Cavs, the Celtics, and the team that beat Denver last night, the Indiana Pacers.
Wait, Halliburton?
Who are going to beat the Cavs in the second round of the playoffs?
Ooh.
Is that your model or your
You
money?
got the Pacers taking out the Cavs?
It could be both.
It could be both.
It could be both.
All right, we'll discuss that once I get another quarter in my account. Hold on. You talking a full seven games
Yep. Yeah.
all the way? Okay.
I don't trust Cleveland right now.
But you trust Indiana on the road?
Yeah, I mean, Indiana made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, if you remember.
And then on top of that, they be balling, bro. I think people are sleeping on the Pacers right now. I probably am sleeping on.
Hey, you know what? Fuck it. I'll find that quarter. I got 50 cents right now. If they match up in the second round, you lose that bet. 50 cents right now.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Potentially a dollar.
Let's do it.
I'm with it.
All right, we on record.
So here's one for you. Can Giannis, with no Dame, can they beat the Knicks?
No.
I mean, y'all
Maybe.
just won the finals, bro. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just went and got a ring, bro.
But-
So-
This team ain't got
but-
Drew, Middleton, nor nobody. All they got is Kuz, bro.
And
who they had
your
back
boy will
then?
be back. Your boy will be back by the playoffs. So and Milwaukee has nobody to stop him. Brunson gonna do at least 20 points a game.
He's already back.
No, but he'll be back full strength by playoffs. I think he on minute restriction, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's just coming back off that ankle.
Yeah.
You said Thibodeau doing
Probably
minute
on minute
restriction?
restriction.
Yeah.
Hey, that's your go-to player. If you're going anywhere in the playoffs, you're going with him. You're not going past the first round, maybe the second round, without him. All depends on who you play. And your season play is already shown. You can't beat Cleveland or the Knicks or Boston.
So who's a
lucky to
bigger
get to the second round.
threat? Who's a bigger threat to Boston? The Knicks or the
Cleveland.
Pacers?
Cleveland.
Knicks or who?
Knicks or the Pacers?
I would say the Pacers. You know what I mean? Because I mean, go back to last year. Boston swept them, but a couple of those games were a possession off. You know, and Halliburton was out. You know what I mean? So Indiana's not afraid of Boston that same way that Houston wasn't afraid of Duke. You know, Cleveland, on the other hand, I think it's just going to be tough for a dude like Donovan Mitchell to consistently weed through Brown and Tatum. Like those some long ass arms, you know, blocking those lanes you're trying to get through.
Yeah, but if Aaron and if Mobley and the other kid, if they pick it up, if they pick it up a notch, they could run it to 7.
But that's the problem, though. Is
Cleveland
that,
smacked us a couple times this year.
but that's the problem, though, is that when Cleveland gets in trouble, they don't involve Mobley no more. They just start shooting. Like it's the same thing. Like if you watch Spurs games, it's the same thing they do to Wemby. You'll have like 7 or 8 possessions where he doesn't touch the ball. You saw that with Duke the other night. There were like 7 or 8 possessions where Cooper Flag didn't touch the ball. So I mean that comes down to coaching too, right? So so hopefully with a different coach there this year, they'll fix that.
No Dame, only Kuzma. I can't see the Bucks. I mean, it's again, unfortunately, Giannis is having an MVP caliber season, and it's going to be going to waste again. I mean, can we see Giannis leaving the Milwaukee Bucks?
Yes. I think if they lose in the first round, I think it's on the table. Even though Giannis isn't holding himself accountable, because if you remember, there's been at least 3 series that they lost because he couldn't play. Like last year against Indiana, him and Dame were out. The year before that, he missed a game in the Miami series and had to hurt back. There was a Miami series in the bubble where he got dominated on. So, like, it ain't just it ain't the team too. It's everybody, Giannis included.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's fed up. I mean, he's already put it out there like, hey, like I just want to win, like whether that's here or somewhere else. So it's out there. And now Dame's having issues, you know what I mean? Like, and he didn't even necessarily probably want Dame in the first place.
What would be a good landing spot for Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Honestly, I don't even want to say it.
Lakers.
No, I wasn't going to say them.
I'll say they. Lakers. Lakers.
I was going to say OKC.
Nah.
If they don't get through this, see that's the problem with OKC is that they do the youth movement, but they don't never fill the veterans around it.
Okay, but that's what
Hartenstein is old.
Yeah,
Hartenstein. Well, I guess they did pick up Caruso this year, but I'm talking about a veteran that can step up when SGA is having an off night. Because that's what happened against the Lakers yesterday. J-Dub couldn't step up.
So they don't run enough offensive plays to Steven Adams. So, I mean, I don't know what you're expecting.
Steven Adams. That's who you wanted to talk about when it comes down in Houston.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Steven Adams having a hell of a season, man. Very, very, very underrated player. When Brody was going crazy in OKC, he was definitely one of the linchpins in that unit. So definitely shout out to him. And it was just another underrated trade acquisition that Houston made. I don't know if that was if it was a Morey jump or if it was after Morey, but definitely shout out to
definitely after Morey.
Definitely shout out to
people sleeping on Houston. They got a coach that been there before.
Yeah, and Ime Udoka. He got them boys ready to play. And again, like you said, in OKC, it's a youth movement. They're definitely building something they got over there. Amen Thompson is just different, bro. He's just
that dude got a couple of defensive player of the years coming his way.
He's different, dog. So
I could definitely one, and his brother might win one. Both of them might win one.
Like if they was just led by a veteran, I could see them upsetting a lot of people, but I just don't know if they got the.
Well, I think that's the thing. I think a lot of these teams are trying to jockey to get Houston, and I'm like, I don't know if you know what you asking for.
Word. Because, like I said, Udoka gonna have them boys ready to play regardless. So
hey, I mentioned it. Saying no, the Nasas did not play. Hey, Luka going back to Dallas on Wednesday.
That's on a tail end of a back-to-back game. It all depends on what he does in OKC. They might be on tired legs when they get in Dallas.
Nah, Luka ain't missing that game.
They are going to cheer him on so
I
hard.
ain't saying he ain't missing it, but he can go. He can do another 5 for 20 with 10 points just because he on tired legs.
That's all
They are
right.
going to cheer him so hard when he gets in there.
That man ain't missing that game. You know what I'm saying? He's 25
Yeah,
years
they
old
get-
or whatever
if
he
they
is. You
get-
better get your ass on that court.
If they're getting blowed out in OKC, I can see the Lakers coach. I keep forgetting his name. Not that it matters. I can see him sitting him. I can see him sitting him after the third in order to rest him for that game. But if it's a tight game and he plays the full game, I don't see him in Dallas other than outside of that first period or maybe the first half running on adrenaline. But by that second half, he'll be on fumes just because it's a back-to-back.
Well, Luka, I don't want to hear shit about Luka. Luka is the same old Luka that we seen in Dallas. He gonna shoot. He gonna either be cold or he gonna be hot, and he play no goddamn defense. And he just like LeBron. They cry about every goddamn thing.
I'm definitely here for
Somebody
that
ask
game
your opinion.
tomorrow to see how OKC bounces
Nope.
back.
Drink your drink. Nobody asked your opinion.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, bro.
Well,
If I had to ask for a white superstar right now, I'm taking Jokic over Luka. If I had to ask for another white superstar, I'm taking Austin Reeves over Luka.
I knew you was about to say that.
Hey, yo.
okay, but I'll give you here's three. Here's three to choose from. You can go with Luka, you can go with Arvydas Sabonis, or you can go with
Arvydas.
He's not ready for that.
That's the
I
daddy.
would go with Sabonis. Like what we talking about? I would go with Chet. I would like.
He's ready for that.
I'm thinking Peyton Pritchard. Fuck what you heard.
Yeah,
Wow.
give
Give
me
me Peyton
Peyton.
Pritchard first.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
What he had last night
Like-
when you get 8 and 6, put it on the t-shirt, underdog.
Give
No,
me
they got
Gordon
it. They got
Hayward
it
right
on-
now.
they
I'll
got
take
him on the
Gordon
t-shirt.
Hayward right
Bragging
now.
whites.
I saw the
Give
t-shirt
me
on my
Gordon
screen today. I almost threw
Dragic
up.
over Luka right now. We talking white people.
Over who?
I'm trying to tell you, bro. Fuck Luka, bro. Okay,
You
Nobody-
taking
I'm
Dragic?
taking Cooper Flag over all them motherfuckers.
for sure.
Oh, wow.
For
Bro,
sure.
Just go ahead.
give me
Just go ahead and say
Grady.
you take Deflin Shrimp. Take Deflin Shrimp. Wow. Y'all out there tonight.
Give me
Trying to tell you,
Hey,
bro. Give me Steve Nash right now over Luka, bro.
That's
Jason
crazy.
Richardson might have something to say about that, but I mean, it is what it is.
You don't want to go there with me, huh? You don't want to go there with me.
hey, but yo, how good do y'all think Cooper Flag gonna be though?
He gonna be all right, bro.
Clearly, he's gonna be Jason Tatum.
That might not be a bad comparison. Like I was thinking more like a Pippen
I
Kawhi
was-
type, but I can
I
see
was thinking Dirk, but just not with the height.
Dirk.
That's like far as like the
You don't play nothing
operator.
like Dirk.
No, I'm saying far as like how he played, how Dirk played for that, like the.
You stop
Well,
being
who-
lazy comparing white boys to white boys.
I'm not, bro, but that's a good comparison, bro. I'm talking about just
Wow.
game. I'm talking about game. I'm talking about game as a like true game. If you look up, he played like Dirk, bro.
He played more like Kevin
Oh,
Durant than he does like Dirk.
You guys play like Dirk? The hell? Wow.
That is crazy.
Trying to tell you, bro.
Lethal looking at the lack of melanin and don't.
Okay, I'm on. You might as well say you gonna play like Keith Van Horn.
I heard somebody say Walter Clayton was Jalen Brunson, but I don't know if I like that one.
I heard somebody say he was the next step, and I flipped the channel immediately.
Nah, he ain't no Steph.
Just y'all reaching for everything right
I'm trying to figure out this VJ Edgecombe kid. Like, there's
I
times
don't even
where
know half the people. I
There's-
only know
there's
Cooper
times-
Flag coming in. That's all.
there's
I know.
times where I see a little T-Mac, and then there's times where I'm like, are you just Iman Shumpert?
Shumpert was sweet though, bro.
Yeah, for like 2 years, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had a spark when he
Yeah,
started.
2
and now
years.
he's garbage. You know what I'm saying? He was garbage when LeBron needed him.
That's crazy.
Is there anybody on the Houston squad you see going in the first round?
No. Well, Like if they do, it's gonna be like 27 or something like that. LJ Cryer, because that's the problem is that these dudes stay in college and accomplish things, but then when they get to the draft, they be like, "Yo, you too old." You know what I mean? They want the young kid that they can develop or that they see potential in over the proven product.
Is it more good talent coming in compared to last year's talent?
I think this draft is going to be awesome. But from what I've been reading, I haven't looked into it myself just yet, but from what I've been reading, they think next year is going to be even better. But I think this draft is going to be damn good.
How if you had to rate it on these past maybe like I'll say past 5 years drafts.
If this year, if the draft that we just had, because that was a weaker draft. So if you want to call that using the 2K rule, if you want to call that draft a 80, what I'm saying, I'll probably call this draft like a 85 or 86. I think there's a lot of players in this draft that I don't want to say sky's the limit, but there's a lot of potential in this draft.
Is that like based off of just talent alone?
Yeah, just based off talent alone. Like, because just the top 3 alone. Like, you remember that year on 2K where you had the 3 prospects? Like, one was like a point guard, one was like the tall small forward, and one was like the foreign center. That's what I feel about this top 3. Like, Cooper Flagg, I think, is legit. I think Dylan Harper is going to be a star. You know what I'm saying? Ace Bailey, like, even at his worst, he's probably like a lesser Carmelo or something like that. You know what I mean? So I think this top 3 has potential. And then when you
is Danny Wolf coming out this year?
I've seen him in mock drafts, but I'm not so sold on him. Like at the NBA, like he's a great college player, but I'm not sold on him at the NBA level. Just like Unk know what I'm talking about. Like there's guys like RJ Davis out here, straight up ballers. You know what I'm saying? But he's old.
And he's short.
And he's short. You know what I mean? So
he's another was it Joe Barry?
Yeah.
He's another Barry. He may get a contract, or he's gonna do free agent signing, do one contract, maybe a year, and then wind up in broadcasting just like Barry.
I think he's gonna be in the G League and put up 27 on Bronny, and somebody will call him.
But he won't. I don't. As accomplished as he is, I don't see him signing. If he signs a contract, I don't see him signing a second contract because he's not Kobe White, but he's not Joe Barry the second either. He's kind of in between, and he's short. You're not unless you got a defensive knack or you can light it up like Cam Thomas or somebody like that. You're not going to make it in today's league. You, like you say, he'll last longer in the G League than in the NBA.
So, speaking of lasting in the NBA, there was a short that I sent to 5, and it was, or did he send it to me? And it was basically where Jason McIntyre was saying that if Charlotte was fortunate enough to land Cooper Flagg, that they should move on from LaMelo Ball, trade LaMelo Ball. And my question would be, not to sound make it sound like one-sided, but who do you think would be the winner of that trade without even knowing who the team is? The team that receives LaMelo Ball or the haul that Charlotte would get for LaMelo Ball?
The haul, because he got an injury pattern. And an injury pattern automatically drops your stock, no matter who you are. Outside
but do you think it would be a haul like a Bradley Beal haul?
No. Nobody that stupid.
Okay then.
No, I think there's definitely, I think there's definitely picks involved, obviously, depending on the team. Like, okay, so let's spitball for a quick second. So you've been talking
Yeah,
about
I wasn't even thinking about if there was a player involved.
No, I know, but like think about it like this. If I could get, say, 2 first-round picks, and I could get, and I'm just making up names right now, but like if I could get a Dyson Daniels and an Okongwu, why wouldn't I do that?
Okay, question. If the Pink Pajamas entertained this trade, what would they need to send along with 2 picks?
If who?
At least
The
2
Pink
players.
Pajamas.
Oh, the Pink Pajamas. Oh, yeah, we gotta send our picks, this year and next year at the very least. I would
Marcus
say
Smart.
I would say everybody but Sarr, Carrington, and Keyshawn
I think Jordan Poole will
George.
get it done.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what I was
Jordan
about
Poole
to say.
will
Yeah,
get it done.
anybody but Sarr, Carrington, and Keyshawn George, you got it.
So the
For LaMelo Ball,
Poole Melo
for
swap.
LaMelo Ball, if you was to give me Jordan Poole at 2 first,
Yeah, that's all I'm about to say. Two
And
picks
that's all
with
it takes. Sign me up right now.
That's insane.
You got to make the money match. That's why you always see the extra players in, because the money's got to match. Because
So I guess I'm lost. Why the picks don't compensate for money?
it does, but but we got to know what the contracts are. Let me look up LaMelo Ball's contract real quick. So he's got 5 years, $260 million. And so Jordan Poole's contract is $128 million. So that's why you got to get all that filler in there I don't know what the picks are worth, but it ain't going to get you $122 million.
But isn't he like on the
yeah, you
second-
got to move somebody
second
else
year
on
that-
those too.
250? Isn't he like on the second year at 250?
Yeah.
So the 3 years, 250 prorated 3
LaMelo,
years.
I think it's just this year on.
So that could work. Sort of, kind of, close.
But the team that's getting LaMelo will have to be a team that's trying to actually win something in a sense. So
would it be safe to say LaMelo is just a light-skinned John Wall?
No, I don't think that's fair. Like, I don't think they play anything alike, and I don't think he has the impact that Wall had.
Wall was sweet, bro.
Like LaMelo is not making not the way that they play, but he's like Paul Pierce before KG and them showed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gonna get you to 25 points or whatever, you know what I mean? But y'all gonna be struggling. And somebody got to score the points on a bad team.
And he gonna play make, bro. I feel like he's a better playmaker than people try and they really don't give him credit for his playmaking ability. But I think
he ain't
one
never
of the best.
there.
I think
Like
his playmaking
if
ability
LaMelo
is
was
above
in
average.
Sacramento right now, how much of an impact would he make Sacramento?
They would
Niggas
be the
probably
same
be
team.
tough.
Little to none because he be injured.
They would be the same team.
Niggas be tough.
Because, like, think about it. Like, they had De'Aaron Fox, you know what I'm saying? And, yeah, like, so listen to this. So, in his career, right, so there's 82 games in an NBA season, y'all. So, in his rookie year, he played 51. In his second year, cool. You know, that was the good one. He played 75. And then the last three, 36, 22, and 47. You doing your thing, but you ain't there. Just like Mark Williams, same thing. Mark Williams is a very good player.
But places
But he's
matter,
never
though.
there.
You know what I'm saying? Environment matter though. We all, like sometimes, you go, like if he was to go to the Rockets, if he was to be sent off to Houston, he might be a different, you know what I'm saying? It might be a refresh.
Houston at all, because I don't know.
Because coach, their coach got everybody playing defense.
But that's what you need. But that's what he probably needs. But
they're already young as is. They need some veterans in there. Like it's time to like they got Dylan Brooks, they got Van Vliet or whatever, but I don't know how long you can keep Jalen Green, Shagun, Jabari Smith, and Amen. Like somebody's got to go. Like because their rookie deals are gonna hit around the same time, so somebody ain't gonna make it. So you bring in LaMelo in there, you might lose two of them instead of one.
It's not too many teams unless they're sorry teams that's gonna take LaMelo right now. That will make he'll make a big impact for him.
I don't know, man. Like I think that there's like okay, so how about this? What if I sent him to Dallas to play with AD, maybe Kyrie, if he, depending on how he comes back healthy or whatever. I got that. And I come off of I can't even trade PJ Washington because that's where he came from. So he ain't gonna want to go, they ain't gonna want him back.
You might as well send him to Miami.
I mean, that could work.
It could, but I don't know if he fits the Heat culture, if you will.
Well, you sure ain't
to the dice roll. Do you send Melo to Phoenix? Do you send Melo to Phoenix?
No.
Phoenix ain't got nothing to trade. Phoenix ain't got nothing. Phoenix is the West version of Brooklyn right now. They got a bunch of nothing and nowhere to go with it. Just like Brooklyn had a few years back. That's why Brooklyn is where they're at now.
Honestly,
what about the Pacers?
The move might be Orlando, to be honest with you.
Orlando.
The move might be Orlando.
But
put him next to Paolo.
Can he deal with that Orlando traffic? Nobody can. Nigga, that Disney World.
Okay. How about this, Cups? Since you started this conversation, Cups. If I call you and I say, yo, I need LaMelo, and I'm willing to come off of Demetrius, do you tell me no?
Ooh, you gonna put
why not though? I feel like that's why not? I feel
you gonna put LaMelo in Memphis?
In Memphis, yes. You niggas will be tough.
Good luck with that. Ooh, it's already hot over there.
That's one of those ones.
The Charlotte, send your boy back home.
That's one of the ones that's like that could actually possibly really happen. Low key.
So what if I called you and said, what if I called you and I said, yo, I got some NBA champions for you. Let me send you a Porter and a Jamal Murray. And I put Melo next to the Joker.
Okay, so who's on the tail end of their contract in them two?
Murray
or Porter?
MJ just signed.
Jamal Murray, I think, just signed an extension too. Let's see.
So Porter's on the tail end of his contract.
So Murray signed. Murray signed a 5-year, $158. He's a free agent in 2029.
Just signed.
So he it's just fresh. The ink is still fresh. And then Porter, I want to say he got his contract maybe 2 years ago. Yeah, he got his contract in 2021 actually. So he's on
the tail end of this.
Yeah, he's on a 5-year, $179.
Charlotte would have him for a year and can ship him off to the pink pajamas.
He would be a free agent in 2027. What up, Residente? You know what I'm saying?
Residente, San Jose.
I can't be on long. What's that? So I just want to dip in. Toya having some kind of stuff going on, so I'm outside the emergency room. I just want to make sure I tapped in with you guys. I am watching. I just wanted to say, right. Yeah, I think just precautions. You never be too cautious, I guess.
Sure, absolutely.
But I just wanted to say a few things. One, y'all need to pay more attention to the comment section because I was in there giving all kinds of gems and having a great time. And nobody was paying attention to what I was saying. That's the first thing. Second thing. There's one panelist on this panel, that after his team lost, disappeared from the internet for like 3 weeks. And I think it's really offensive that he found time tonight to hop on here and have all kind of takes. But respect to him, respect to everybody on the panel. I love all you guys. Third thing, Duke lost, man. Duke, we choked. There's no reason we should have lost that game. We were the better team. We played the better game. But for 90 seconds, we forgot how to play basketball. And it was really weird to watch. I think it falls on John Shire. I think everybody has culpability, but a lot of it comes down to coaching. You said it earlier, Tufan, like, you situational basketball, you should be better than that. You should be drawing up plays. You should be stopping the ball. We had timeouts. Like, we couldn't inbound the ball. Like, we couldn't inbound the ball on our own side. Like, it was anyway.
And he didn't even change inbounders.
After Zion James showed, like, dude is bugging. We didn't play the backup center who's played well for us all year. He didn't get it in the second half.
No, you know what swung that game? It was the flagrant foul. Because they got the flagrant foul because they hit a three, got the flagrant foul, hit 2 free throws, and got the ball again.
Yeah, but I mean,
wait. So Duke lost? Wow.
Yeah, we lost. Which I've said several times. It's kind of crazy.
That was the ultimate troll ever.
It is weird because like I showed up to talk about it like the day after. Like,
hey, that's crazy.
Unlike some people, unlike some people, who shouldn't have been in the tournament in the first place, and then ended up getting run out the game in the play-in. So I mean, I don't know.
So this isn't Durham Tech on my TV behind me right now. This isn't Durham. Oh no! Oh, my bad.
There's nothing on your TV.
There's definitely a team wearing blue right now.
There's nothing on your TV.
There's nothing. Shit. Oh, my bad. My stream is acting up.
You gotta update the porn channel that you've been trying to watch earlier. You can't.
No, it was the NBA channel. My bad. I thought I had it on the.
See, you done put it in existence. You said you heard somebody say this man is Steph Curry, and he just did a dumbass Steph Curry turnover pass.
Hey!
He's not Steph Curry.
Hey, Houston. The other Houston team had Steph looking bad too. So I mean, what can I say?
Yeah, Steph put up 3 last night. But yeah, no, I just wanted to come in and say that, man. Like, no excuses. Like, we lost, dog. We lost. And to your question about this year versus the Zion year, this year is more. It's a bigger letdown. We had no business losing that game. The Zion team, to 2-5's point earlier, definitely had some real flaws. Like, we could not trust RJ Barrett to do anything, and Cam Reddish, the shooter that can't shoot, who was the number 1 shooter in the country coming into college, and forgot how to shoot the basketball. Like that team this team had 4 players, and I said this all year. We had 4 players that could score 20 at any time, and we went, I want to say, 8 minutes without scoring a basket.
Tough.
Like, you can't do that. You can't do that and win the game. So,
4 lottery picks.
Shout out to Houston for getting the win. I hope both teams lose tonight. If Bain can just come and explode the bottom of the arena and just end the game in the middle, that'd be cool. I'd take that. But but to the victors go to spoils. I like both teams. I don't hate either team.
You got the boozers coming.
Yeah, I don't got the faith next year that I had in this year. This year was supposed to be this year we had the team to do it. It was supposed to happen this year. But it wasn't meant to be. And it continues my streak outside of my beloved Birmingham Stallions bringing the championship home. My teams have having a streak of making it to the Final Four, to the championship, and losing for the last 3 years. It's been heartbreaking after heartbreak after heartbreak. I mean, but I would take that, I guess, over missing the playoffs.
They lost 3 in a row. Who did they lose to in 22?
We lost to UNC, huh? See how easy that was?
Y'all lost to who? Y'all lost to the Tar Heels. I think I missed that game. I think I was at the Isley Brothers concert.
3 times this year, though. So
I was at the Isley Brothers concert when that was going on. I think I missed that game. Damn.
Oh, nah, that's what's
I
up.
got Isley's, not Mr. Big, bro.
Okay, Isley,
Hey, He wasn't that big, man. He sat down half the show. I was like, damn, I could have been home watching the game. Anyway,
Yes, that's
And it was
I
a
could
really
have watched
good
this on
game.
live stream.
And it was a really good game.
Yeah.
But nah, I'm gonna go inside this hospital though, for real. Mad love. I'll be watching in the comment section. Don't ignore me in the comment section though. It's very rude.
We got
Yeah,
you. Liz.
because Residente was trying to let Lethal know that Cooper don't play like a white guy.
Yes, oh, that's the last take I wanted to get. Sorry. Stop comparing Cooper to white guys. You know, like
Only right, bro.
Like
It's only right,
he,
bro.
he ain't him. He
It's
ain't
only
them.
right,
Like
bro.
he ain't one of them.
It's only
Like
right.
Cooper,
He get
Cooper-
compared to everybody in the league, and it's white guys in the league. I'm gonna start with the white guys first.
No, don't start with the white guys.
So
There
he-
ain't no white guy that play like him.
so is he better than Keith Van Horn?
Yes. He reminds me more like you mentioned T-Mac earlier. I think T-Mac's a good comp.
Okay.
Can he do that spin like Philip? Can he do that spin like Filipowski does all the time?
Filipowski.
No, he's better than Filipowski too.
Isn't he in
You know,
Utah?
Yeah.
with the Filipowski spin.
Only thing
See,
Filipowski
okay,
got
so what
on him is
happens?
the
What
milks.
happens? What happens if they send him to Utah? If the league
Please
breaks
don't send him
the
to
lottery,
Utah.
Then he
to-
gonna
to
then he
send
gonna
him
be
to
picking off
Utah.
of he gonna be picking off of Filipowski's milfs
He
then.
going to the
They about to
Spurs.
cut up, bro.
will they trade Mercatus?
He is going to the
Will they trade?
Spurs.
If they trade, if they gonna trade Mercatus if they get him?
They might have to.
Now if they get flagged, they keep
I
him
would love
on.
to see Cooper
They're gonna get rid of
in San
Collins
Antonio.
because they paid
He
paid
is
Laurie.
going
They're
to
gonna
the
have to.
Spurs, bro.
Yeah, but
He
they
is
could get
going
picks
to
for
the
Laurie. They
Spurs.
could get picks for Laurie though.
I would love to see Cooper and Wemby. I would
He
love
is
it.
going there. He is going to the Spurs aren't going to make a play on Cooper.
Just imagine, like we see how
Did
Cooper
you say
played
what
with
happened?
We see how Cooper played with Malawash. Now take out Malawash and put in Wemby. It's nuts time.
He might need to because Cup said that Malawatch about to get deported.
He is.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Fox, Wemby, and Flag is
All this winning.
Oh, so much winning.
So much winning from this administration.
Yeah, Proctor.
I don't know if any Tar Heel players getting deported, but I know they're in the portal. Is that the same thing?
No, it's not the same thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. One's getting paid to
I
leave.
know that
and the
point
other
guard.
one's
I know
getting
that point guard I like went to Michigan.
I know they ain't in the NBA.
Yeah, but okay, I guess I got a political and sports question. Say if the kid gets deported,
Yeah.
can't the NBA just bring him back through the NBA Africa little thing
No,
they got going on?
You have to get some kind of work visa, and that goes to the government.
Okay, so if they deport him, can he say, and they say you got to go back to your country? He goes back to his country and then say makes his way to Britain, and then an agent finesses it. An agent out of New York finesses it for him to get a work visa to come back here and play for the Knicks or some
But that's
shit
the
like
thing.
that.
That's the thing. He already has a dual citizenship in the UK. He already has that.
That's what I'm saying. So he can technically, with the right lawyer per se, with the right agent and lawyer, he can finesse it to basically come back here and
He can
get
tell-
more money.
Yeah, there's always loopholes.
Yeah, he can challenge it, but the problem is, and honestly, this is a much larger discussion, right? This is why the lens that they're looking through this stuff through is so dangerous, because they can take a situation which would normally be completely fine and say, "Oh no, this falls under the opposition of what the president's intention is."
The very
That's the
broad,
problem
very
with having
vague intention.
legislation that is solely based on what the president wants to do versus what's legal.
Well, it's not vague if all you see is non-vanilla folks
Non-whites.
getting deported. It's not
Yeah.
vague. It's blatantly obvious. The only ones that's not
Russians.
obvious to it's not
Yeah.
obvious to the ones who are condoning it until it's
Yeah.
somebody they want or somebody they need.
Exactly.
It's blatantly obvious. It's
Yeah.
blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
So for some of
Absolutely.
y'all, y'all don't see the problem until the problem's in front of you, and it actually affects you. As
Yeah.
long as you don't think it affects you, it's not a problem. But
Yep.
as soon as they take y'all weed, then it's a problem. Or we
Yep.
need to do something about it.
We got to do something about this. Y'all got to do
But why
something.
wait? Why wait until then? Why wait until then instead of getting ahead of it and see the big picture instead of the picture in front of you?
Because we too busy learning how to do the fan dance, huh?
I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing about that. But I have been to a trail ride before they were popular. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say.
I believe it.
I have been.
I heard they wilding out
I
there.
have been to the trail. Right over there, Smithfield, Virginia. Shout out. Shout
So,
out.
so
Smithfield.
before we get out this jump, man, the clock has been winding down. It's almost inevitable. Minnesota has come out and said they are officially out on Aaron. Are you ready to embrace?
I have already said to my agent and my press corps, I am not and will not, no matter the record, should there be a record, I am on the record as saying I am not condoning, if it happens, the acquisition of Aaron Rodgers. I think it's more distraction than
I agree.
actual you're hurting the organization more than you're helping the organization. Because even if you get him for one good year, you still set yourself back another 3 to 5 years, because after that 1 year, you're right back in the same spot you was in this year, which is finding your future franchise quarterback.
Is
need to
it
either
still
do
not
one
a?
of two things.
Is it still not a? Would you still be unhappy if y'all get A-Rod and still draft?
You can get A-Rod and still draft, but the thing is, you hinder the draft pick if it's a quarterback. You hinder his progression a year.
Not necessarily, bro.
You're not going to put him.
Look at Jordan Love, and then look what it did for A-Rod himself.
Yeah,
They-
Jordan
who-
Love was
who-
playing behind an Aaron Rodgers that was good.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
Aaron Rodgers
A
was
good
playing.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers has been sitting
Yeah.
for 4 years behind Brett before he touched
But-
the field.
but-
Brett
but-
that was
but-
still
but-
good.
It's like,
That was still
but
good.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like
It
it's
don't
a
do me no good to
possibility.
sit behind a dude that I'm better than.
But you know, but like we
Exactly.
said,
And they-
if you
and
get
they
him for that
both
one
had-
good year, if you get him for that one
But-
good
but
year, if he plays
they-
like the
they
old Aaron
both-
Rodgers, that could be a beneficial to
He's
them.
not going to play like the old Aaron Rodgers, sir, because we don't have an offensive line to protect him consistently.
Yeah, he's not going to play like the old Aaron Rodgers. He's
He's
going to play
one
like
good.
our old Aaron
He's
Rodgers.
one good lick. He's one good lick or running out the tunnel away from being down 6 games minimum. No, sir. You still set your franchise back 3 to 5 years, putting 1 year into him, especially our franchise when we have a defense that's top 5 to 10 with a window closing on them.
But do you feel that? But do you feel that you have to get Aaron though because you went out and got DK Metcalf? You can bring. I don't know if you can
No.
bring a rookie in there.
No, I think you can suffer this year at quarterback, just like you suffered the last 5 years at quarterback, and then next year with a better crop of quarterbacks coming in, say, okay, we wasted money on this $150-something for this year, but let's just say if you can't finesse to get Shador, you finesse to get Arch or something close to that. It's still going to be better
Y'all
than
can
what
get
you
Jackson
what
Dart
you
this
invested
year.
in.
What you mean? Huh? It's a possibility y'all can still get Jackson Dart this year.
You know what though? I would rather that 23, 24-year-old kid out of Louisville.
Oh, Tyler Shupp.
At least I know he got more experience. He would be my version of Winky.
So why is
I
everybody
would
hitting
think
on
that.
Dart? Why is the question? Why is people feel like Dart?
Because who was his coach at Ole Miss?
Mr. Lane Kiffin.
Okay, name me one quarterback that Lane Kiffin is coach that has come into the NFL and been productive.
Did he coach Bryce Young? Well, never mind. After I said Bryce Young's name, I was like, never mind.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, how did that work out? And even I can't even blame Bryce Young because
Did he coach
Bryce
Jalen
Young
Hurts?
went to, Bryce Young went to a squad that doesn't have an offensive line as well. This is what I'm saying. He needs to go to a situation where there's a higher probability of him being protected more during the snap. If you're going to sit there and rely on a passing game with him that doesn't involve a dink and dunk setup, and you don't have receivers, you don't have a slant route receiver to help him when the pocket starts collapsing.
Cups will have you know that Lane Kiffin guided Jacob Coker to the national title.
Oh my God! Now you're not gonna let me let that down. Whose man's is this, man? Who was this nigga?
Update, we got Houston 14, Florida 10 with about 10 minutes left in the first half. You know, Florida with 4 turnovers, Houston 0 so far. Make that 16-10.
So, even if y'all I promise this is the last question we're about to get out here. Even if y'all pass on Aaron Rodgers, do y'all really feel like y'all have the luxury? Just talking about the quarterback purgatory that y'all been in since Ben Roethlisberger retired, and it's been about 6 years now, maybe 7. How do you feel like y'all have the luxury to just not pass or not sign Aaron Rodgers? It's probably been like 5 or 6 to 5. Goddamn.
Because he doesn't have.
Ben Roethlisberger retired?
Retired in 2022.
Hell no.
He does not have.
Ben
He does
Roethlisberger
not
retired like
have-
the COVID season.
He retired in 2022.
The Cootie season, we went 14 and something and got bounced in the first round.
They lost
Don't
their
do
first
that.
game in Washington that year.
Yeah, we lost the first. We was like 10-0 or some shit like that. And Chase Young and them had a field day because they exposed our offensive line, and the offense couldn't get a 3rd and 1 down to save their fucking life.
Yeah, because that was the question. Because Ben kept making all these comments about like, you know, like he didn't know if his heart was in it or some stuff, and they were like, "Yo, you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out." You know what I'm saying?
But
Ben said
he like I
Ben
say,
said
you
he got
can't.
some steps in him.
We're not. We shouldn't be that desperate to where we sacrifice 1 year of potentially doing better than what we've been previously doing in order and lose the next 3 to 5 as far as drafting one, making a hell of a pick, or you sacrifice some picks and move up. You're not gonna do a 6-10 season and wind up with another Ben Roethlisberger. That's not gonna happen.
But even if you take a quarterback this year, though, what harm would it be to sign Aaron Rodgers?
Because you're not gonna allow that quarterback time and reps in order to work his way into being the starter you need going forward beyond 1 year.
Hey, don't make Pittsburgh have to drop a bag on Brock Purdy.
You are getting Aaron Donald. You're getting this motherfucker off hype and past performance, which is nothing. If not, you go by the Jets years, he ain't shit. You go by the Packers years, oh yeah, he's still an elite quarterback. He didn't do half of his Packers years with the Jets because he was either injured or they was ass or both. He did more complaining than he did playing, and he's a distraction. You're gonna take a weekend off and go overseas somewhere on a sabbatical, and the organization is gonna be cool with that mid-season? No, Playboy, that ain't how that works. The only reason you got away with that because of who you are and what you've done. But even at that, you was a distraction. You was a bigger distraction than Zach Wilson hitting somebody's mama. Come on, bro. You don't need that.
If the Steelers had vision, they would have just went and got Hendon Hooker, bro.
I mean,
If they had vision, they would have. If they had vision, they would have kept. If they had vision, they would have kept Josh Dobbs. That's just my opinion.
If the Steelers had vision,
they have
would've went
vision.
out- They should have went out of Milton. They should have went and got Milton instead of Dallas. They really wanted
Wouldn't have
to do
needed him
something.
wouldn't have needed him if you had Dobbs still in the system, and he would have been ready to go by now. Just my personal.
Mason Rudolph is locked and loaded. Okay.
Mason Rudolph is a 4th and 1 in the 4th period with 2 minutes left interception away from costing you 3 games.
He is locked and loaded.
Costing you 3
If
games.
he couldn't make it in Nashville, he's not going to make it anywhere. Send him to Indianapolis. They used to reject.
Insane.
So yeah, fellas, we done reached that goddamn hour and 14-minute mark in this here Monday smoke meeting. Y'all already know the hot box is every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've been Styrofoam Ralph. You know, I had the gang with me 1/2 of Sports Reports as ordered. E equals 2/5 squared live in the motherfucking den. You know I have my dog Bleed Blue for the shoe. Nap Nation, what it do? Jay Lethal in the motherfucking building, and you know I have my dog Steel Curtain Unk in this thing. Above all else, I just want everybody to know that it is fuck Aaron Rodgers.
Fuck Aaron Rodgers.
I can't believe Durham Tech lost. Nobody told me. Wow.
Bro, that joke was so crucial. I gotta clip that joke. I gotta clip that. That shit caught me off guard. Like it took me a second to react to the joke. I was like,
y'all can tell me about everything else. Y'all can tell me about everything else and all things Pittsburgh, but y'all didn't tell me Durham Tech lost. Oh, and while I'm here, I'm gonna be my one respectable moment. Salute to that hockey player that did something. He did something. Salute to him. You know.
Yes, sir.
I thought a great one. I thought a great one on TV, and he was on the ice celebrating something. I don't know what it was.
We love you, Ovi.
Congratulations to that. Congratulations.
Great
to that
job, Ovi.
For doing something that warranted the great one coming out there and acknowledging him, kind of like how
his record in the same amount of games too.
How the greatest basketball player ever, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, came out and did something for somebody when they did
I knew I wasn't alone.
Yeah,
I knew
I wasn't alone. I knew somebody else thought that Kareem was the GOAT too.
Oh, you already know what it is, Playboy. I ain't a new Lakers fan. I'm a Showtime fan. So it is what it is. It's gonna always be that way.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna always be that way. No matter who they bring in there, it's gonna always be Showtime, motherfucker.
That's right.
so yeah, fellas, like I said, man.
Congratulations to that hockey player, toothless bastard.
Capital fans everywhere appreciate you because we know that's the best we gonna get.
Capital. There's no Capital fans everywhere. It's just in the DMV, and that's where it stops. Come on, stop that.
I don't know, man. We got
Shout out
titty
to the
flashers
folks.
everywhere.
So yeah, fellas,
Got big pajamas everywhere.
we absolutely gonna catch everybody next time, man. 7 p.m. Thursday night smoke rally. Y'all already know. Same time, same place, man. Fuck Aaron Rodgers. Smoke with us next time.
Letting the windows down.
Letting the windows down. Letting the smoke out. Smoke with us next.